Hey everybody, this is Steven.
And this is Scooby. Welcome to another episode of The Feedback, where Steven and I bring some music to one another, and by extension, to you, the listeners. This week, Steven has brought a track that, I don't know what it is. We've discussed it a fair bit because of what I brought last week. We were talking about collaborations. And for a brief moment, we thought we might be choosing the same one until I revealed what I brought last week. So we'll see if what you've got in the tank this week. When it comes to drinks, I've got 3 today. As per usual, high quality H2O. I've got a glass of pineapple juice because I love pineapple juice. And then I've also got a can of cherry limeade. Prebiotic soda, which apparently prebiotics and probiotics are different things, but they're both very good for your gut, I guess. I don't know. But that's my beverages. One could argue that soda is not healthy, but it's got prebiotics in it. So whatever. Steven, what are your drinks, and what the heck are we listening to today?
Thank you for that introduction. I don't know the difference between prebiotics or probiotics, but I do know the same thing that you know. There's something to do with gut health. That's about it. And I don't understand what that new trend is. I don't know, maybe not trend, but the prebiotic sodas, there's lots of those out right now. Like even Pepsi's doing one too.
Really?
Yeah, they have cherry vanilla Coke or cherry vanilla Pepsi. And there's another one too. I can't remember what it is, but they have their prebiotic sodas that they're putting them out as well. So I don't know what this is, where it came from, why it's a thing, but it's a thing.
It's probably just trying to market soda in a way that more people will drink it because, soda gets a bad rap because it is bad for you, honestly. So if they put stuff in it that's like, oh, this is good for your gut health, maybe more people will drink it.
Maybe. I doubt it.
Me too. I'm not going to stop. So.
Same. I'm not gonna stop because today I brought 2 drinks. Again, the same old one that we both have had. I'm pretty sure every single day is aqua, the water. Sometimes I have that liquid IV poured into there, but it's still water. I have a second drink today. I don't have 3. We're still on the Dewcast. I hope you're having a good time because I'm having a Baja Blast.
Hell yeah.
Tropical lime, the original. We talked about this before, trying to figure out why there was a tropical lime when the original was tropical lime, and I think that's what it was, because there's so many different kinds now. Instead of just saying the original, they just call it tropical lime.
Yeah.
And as for the song, drumroll, we've kind of been playing Guess Who back and forth a little bit, because first I thought you had it, then you thought I had it, and then all the other stuff, and we both know that music's coming out and came out a whole bunch. So just based, I can give you some more hints until you finally understand who, or can guess who it is, or did you want to take a wild guess at who you thought it was? Because I remember you saying you might have an idea of who it was when we recorded last. I don't know if you still have that same thought in your head, or even remember that we had that conversation.
I do. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here. Is that the phrase? Stab in the dark? Whatever.
Shot in the dark.
Shot in the dark, sure.
If you're out, if you're in Europe, or not Europe, if you're in England, it's a stab in the dark.
Yeah. Oh man, they make exploding knives now. Europe's got to watch out, or England's got to watch out. So, just going off of the criteria of collaborations that I know have been happening, I'm going to guess that perhaps you have chosen, I don't even know what the song is called, but it's Denzel Curry and Knocked Loose.
Oh man. That's a song I need to hear, because I know a couple songs by Denzel Curry, and I'm a big fan of that. And I like Knocked Loose, and it's not them. Damn. All right, I'm writing this down real quick. Okay. I don't know if you're going to bring it or not, but I'm writing down Denzel Curry.
I wasn't planning on it. See, I don't know of any more super recent collaborations besides the one I brought in that one. There was a really fun one last year between Baby Metal and Electric Callboy that I really loved, but
I've never listened. I think I might have listened to Baby Metal a few times, but I never listened to them beyond when they first came out. By the way, I forgot to open my soda.
Do it.
Little bit of ice cube now here.
Yep.
Come on, that's a commercial right there.
Hell yeah.
Do you want any hints, or you want me to just go ahead and do the reveal?
I mean, I'll take some hints, but I don't know that I'll be able to guess it. So,
Okay. One half of the collaboration, because it is a collab, you mentioned their name about, oh man, 4 or 5 recordings ago. I don't know how much that's going to help you out.
let me pull up the history real quick. Let's see. Haha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I might have been an episode that I was doing, I think, and you mentioned something about an artist's name that you listen to.
Nah. That not
I
enough.
I think this is a dead giveaway. I could be wrong, but they're from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there's surprisingly a lot of artists from Pennsylvania. A
True,
lot of
true.
like pretty popular artists as well. Also Kurt Angle. I don't think he's not a musician though. So he did win an Olympic medal with a broken freaking neck, but
Which is still wild.
yeah,
America's hero.
that's right.
He's from the West Coast, and it's also a man. I just said he, so.
From the west coast of Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Well,
West
as
Side.
as an East Coast man myself, I can't say I have much knowledge of West Coast Pennsylvania.
You're not a Yinzer?
Nah, I'm more of a Will Smith, Fresh Prince kind of guy.
What was the old joke? Why does Will Smith love when it snows? Because the Fresh Prince?
Oh,
Oh, man. All right. So, I'll just go ahead and say it then. We're listening to a song today that's coming out, that actually has come out, sorry, but it's by Thundercat and Mac Miller.
oh, okay. I forget what it's called, but I did see this and I haven't listened to it yet.
Perfect, because I haven't either. It's She Knows Too Much.
Yes. It's on like my Spotify release. Now it's like, oh, a new Mac Miller track. Given that they're all posthumous releases now, are going to become more and more rare.
Exactly. I will say this, because I found this part out. I thought it was a new song, just as much as you just did, clearly. Apparently, this song has been very, very, very old. There was a whole mixtape, I think, is what I read, with Thundercat and Mac Miller that worked on it. Way early 2000s times. I think I have it in my notes somewhere. It was something that was tied up with things and was never fully released to come out, and then Thundercat was waiting till he had something and he was ready to do something again that had Mac Miller in it, and then got it cleared through his estate. So it's released as of 2 weeks ago, February 17th. This single came out. The album Distracted is going to be coming out for Thundercat April 3rd of this year. So the full album's not even out yet. But there are 4 singles of it off already. I haven't listened to any of them at all. Do you have any familiarity with Thundercat?
Yes, actually. So what I do know about Thundercat, first of all, is that he's an amazing bassist. I know that he and Mac Miller collaborated a lot when Mac was still around. And interestingly, and I always forget this and then remember it, and I'm like, what the hell? He was the bassist for Suicidal Tendencies for like 9 years.
Yep.
Which is
I have that in my notes to make sure we go over that later.
which is crazy because like it's so different from the style of music he releases on his own.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he
Absolutely.
does funk, soul, R&B type stuff as his solo work, hip hop. And then you've got Suicidal Tendencies, which is like hardcore, like skate punk. And you know, the other bassist probably before him, before he left, was Robert Trujillo, who has been in Metallica for the past almost 20 years now? No, probably longer. 26, I think. So interesting legacy there. And the only other thing that I can think of is that I know that when Mac Miller did his Tiny Desk concert on NPR, Thundercat was there and did perform a song with him.
Yeah, he was. I agree. I was going to call that out as well. Good call out. Good call outs. All important details.
Sometimes I know things about music. My brain is just a weird encyclopedia.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just the first time that I picked a song with an artist that you could use that wealth of knowledge on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't say I've been trying to like stump you as much as I would say I'm trying to bring something that you might not be aware of so you can broaden your horizons as well.
yeah. I mean, a Paramore, I feel like
True.
I knew some stuff.
That's true. Forgot about them. I don't think I want to talk about too much more right now. I do want to go ahead and get to the song because I have been doing my damnedest to patiently wait until today to listen to it myself. There's a very good chance I might want to listen to it twice.
I do also know that there is a music video for this, and
Ooh, yes, there is. We're going to watch it.
having not heard the song, but I still did some digging about it, even though I haven't heard it yet. I believe that the music video is all animated by like a bunch of different animators. I love when music videos do that, or when they get an animator in general. But like if they have more than one person working on it, I feel like that's really cool.
I think I have the artist here. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and say it now so I don't forget. But the video was directed by Leah Esmaili, Leaesmaili. I don't know if that means they're the artist. I can look that up while we're
Oh,
watching though. But
okay.
yeah, I will look up the artist because I swear I had the artists if that's not who it is because it is animated and we will be watching it. So for our first listen and everyone else's that hasn't already heard this song either, who knows how many years ago, if it leaked somewhere, was on a SoundCloud at some point, who knows, maybe it still is, but for anybody that never heard it before, it is already out. It is a single on his new album, which will be coming out in April, but here is Thundercat and Mac Miller. She Knows Too Much.
She reads, she know way too much. Girl, you don't know me, you don't know enough. Say, if you don't know me, you don't know enough. Yeah, say, ooh, yeah. Got me saying, baby, you can drive my car, but don't drive me crazy. I know that life is hard, we dancing on the boulevard. Girl, am I crazy? I must be crazy. Yeah, you got trouble paying rent now. Living in an apartment, I could take it to the penthouse. Got a stepchild, gone like exile. Made me say, every time you pull your breasts out. She got so much love, I'm feeling left out. I can be your drug when you're stressed out. I know you say it's true love, but why you always hit me when the check bounce? Oh, yeah, we in love. Tell me what I gotta do to get my dick sucked. She a pin up, looking for a rich one. Need to take your ass on home, pick your kid up. Yeah, hard moving to the kick drum. You ain't have none, girl, better get some. And you can talk about the universe and energy, but all you really want is a celebrity. You're just lost, and I'm here to find you. She reads, she know way too much. Girl, you don't know me, you don't know enough. Say, if you don't know me, you don't know enough.
Man, I got a little choked up at the end there, just off my first takes, off watching that for the first time and hearing that for the first time. Like that takes me back. That makes me feel like that feels like it's like a 2013, 2012 track, fresh, new. That feels like time traveling.
Yeah. And it I know what you mean. It's kind of like a very bittersweet feeling, and
Yeah,
especially the music video too.
yeah. That's what got me all choked up. Was like, definitely go watch that music video. Definitely go watch that music video. Real quick before I forget, and then I'll give you your opportunity for first takes. We did look up to see where the accreditations were for the animation and the animation styles and all that stuff. It's broken into 6 sections, and they are given their due accreditations on both the tail end of the music video itself, and then also in the listing of the music video. So please go look at that and check it out, because they did a fantastic job and they deserve all the credit they're going to get. But there are so many people, and there are people from different names with different accents on them that I know I'm going to butcher, and I don't want to do that either. So, yeah, Scoobs, what do you think?
I thought it was, I mean, just to put it plainly, it was really good. Like it's I've always liked the, I guess, instrumentation and just Mac Miller's style in general. Just the sort of music that he would perform over. And I think a large part of that is because he collaborated with Thundercat a lot. So it was sort of that more R&B than hip hop feel. Obviously there's some crossover and all that. They mix very well, but a lot of times there's a more jazzy element due to the influence of Thundercat, and that's something that is felt a lot here. The bass really drives the song, and I mean, the last probably almost 60 seconds, maybe a little less, is just an instrumental outro, and there's the brass, and it does really have that sort of throwback sound as well. Not that saying throwback, to 2013. That's 13 years ago. I mean, like, you can't.
Yeah, music style changes a lot, It is a
Yeah.
throwback.
I think it's changed now, but for a while in rap and hip hop, the big thing was like drill beats, and I was like, I don't like that. Like, that's not. I'm not huge on rap as it is, and like that sort of proliferation was driving me away from it. I was like, I don't like the style.
Yeah, no, I get that completely.
Stuff like this is the kind of stuff I really enjoy. So it really worked for me. And yeah, I mean, we talked about the music video a little bit. I'm sure we'll talk about it more. 2 parts that really stood out to me. I believe it was the second section where they were on like the roller coaster, and a picture hits Mac in the face, and he pulls it off, and it's actually a picture of them performing together at the NPR Tiny Desk. And I was
Yeah,
like, "Aw, that's really nice." And then,
yeah,
of course, at the end, when Thundercat wakes up, and it's his realization that, oh, this entire thing was a dream. Mac's really gone, and then he goes outside and he can see him like up in the sky. It's just
yeah,
like, oh, like
yeah.
like I
That's what
said,
got me all
very,
choked up.
yeah, very bittersweet. Like, it is really nice and it's really sweet, but it's also it's sad. Like, it really is.
It is. I think the feeling why, like, I feel like kind of at ease with it too, to some extent, and like, I know that the message, at least for me, the full on message at the end there kind of was like he still lives on in the thoughts and dreams, and the memories of what he did, and then his music. For somebody that recorded this in whatever year that it was recorded in, because I believe it was on like a SoundCloud at some point from some of the stuff that I read when I was going through everything. For me to hear what Matt, like that little joke that he made, that Mac Miller made at the end, not at the end, like at that interlude part where he was talking shit about the girl. I think it was the second verse. Was it the second verse or the first? It was the first verse. It was at the end of the first verse when he said, all you really want is a celebrity. And he mentioned that a second time too. Like, it doesn't matter. I thought that was really funny too. Like, it doesn't matter what we talk about. It doesn't matter how deep we get. You just want a celebrity. You don't give a shit about who I am. You care that I'm rich or I'm famous or I'm known. You want clout. But then he goes, man, that was a little harsh. You're just lost, but I'm here to find you. When he said that, I started to chuckle, and then he was laughing too, and I'm like, oh my god, fucking I. His personality is there still, and it's like it's on that. I want to have like a discussion about it later, and we can if you want to or not, because I mean, there's two different ways to go about it when someone passes on, and you have their estate, and their estate includes tons of unreleased, almost finished music. And there's the tasteful way, and that's what his family's doing here. And then there's the less tasteful way, where there's people that just try to like sell any like clip of anything to sample onto any like beat or song anywhere just to get some money out of them. So like, I think that these were done very tastefully. In what did you? I always thought it was posthumous. What is the way that you said it?
Posthumous.
Is that the correct way?
As far as I know, but who
That makes sense
really
too.
knows? Yeah.
Either way, tomato, tomato, right?
You say tomato and I say tomato.
It was nice hearing the way that these were recorded. You can tell that these weren't just words put together to make a verse. This was a full-fledged verse that he did. This is a whole track that he did with him. Like, this was very obviously something that wasn't... Like, we knew that, too, because of what I said earlier, but, like, that's what I meant in, like, the difference. You can tell that this was a full-fledged track that was supposed to be done this way, and you can say whatever you want to say. Like, if this was how it was released, or if Thundercat did some changes later on, who cares? Because, like you were mentioning before, I'm pretty sure Thundercat worked on at least 50 to 70% of his catalog, if not more.
Right.
And that meaning, like, either doing some kind of a vocal on it, some kind of a tracking on it, some kind of producing on it, some kind of finishing work on it, no matter at what level. Like, Mac Miller and Thundercat have been buddies and friends for a very long time. And, like, they bonded over similar traumas and things of that nature, so... But yeah, like you said before, the one thing that I did want to say, and you said it before, was about him being Thundercat was in Suicidal Tendencies. But I didn't know if you knew this, but his brother was in the band and joined the year before him, and left a few years before him too, but his brother was also a part of the group before Thundercat joined.
I did not know that. Nope.
Yeah, Thundercat has a very music-heavy family. Like, his dad was doing music too, but I think his dad died from drugs, or maybe he got better. I think something happened. Yeah, he got sober. That's what it was. He was on cocaine and had an issue, but his dad was... he played drums for the Temptations, the Supremes, and Gladys Knight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Ronald Brunner Sr.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nope. Did not know that.
Yeah. Then he got sober from cocaine, and I'm just reading through his wiki, by the way, because this was stuff, I wasn't terribly familiar with how much they crossed over and knew each other, and then I looked into it so I can learn more about it, and I was like, oh, and I was like, so much stuff I realized that I didn't know I knew. So I was reading through all that different stuff, but when he got sober, he would play different shows at the Christian Center. I think this is, yeah. So Thundercat's teacher, who was Reggie Andrews, produced and co-wrote the Daz Band's 1982 single, Let It Whip, and collaborated it with Rick James. So, like, everything that this one's tied into, like, somebody had something going somewhere. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even to the sense of, like, so you mentioned a lot of stuff that he was doing before, but he's also done stuff with Kendrick Lamar. He did a whole bunch of stuff on To Pimp a Butterfly. He's worked on other things too. Like, his Thundercat's accreditations is, like, ridiculous, the amount of stuff that he's done together. But another fun part of trivia too, did you know that Erykah Badu was credited with helping him come with the presence and identity of Thundercat?
That kind of checks out.
Right?
Thinking about it, honestly.
When it all makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It all adds up, kind of a thing. So apparently, yeah, she was accredited with that. So something said around this time he was playing in live bands for Snoop and Raphael Sadiq, and both would make quips about his playing style. And Brunner credited Flying Lotus with pushing him to start singing and making his own projects, and that's why he did.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What?
Dude.
Just 8 million name drops everywhere.
Yeah. The dude just like grew up around like everything music.
Yeah.
He's even played with the Red Hot Chili Peppers before. Like
I could see it, honestly. Yeah.
Kenny Loggins, Mike McDonald.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's silly, but again, he is kind of like a musician's musician where I can see him fitting in with anyone.
Right. Well, so apparently I didn't know this. So I know one song from him that I know for sure, and it's Them Changes,
Okay. Yep.
and that's off his album Drunk.
Yep.
That album, so there's a part in the wiki right here. He released his third studio album, Drunk, in June. He appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon to promote his studio album Drunk with Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs by him, which also was a single, it was probably off of his next album, which I don't recall the name of, but the track is called Dragon Ball Do-Rag.
Yes. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yes, I highly recommend that track. It's silly, it's very catchy. It's unique. It's very Thundercat.
Well, it's actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that because the second single off that album was Black Qualls, which had Steve Lacy, which we mentioned before when we talked about the Vampire Weekend episode.
Right, yes.
It has Steve Arrington, and it also has Childish Gambino, who we've covered essentially twice.
Yeah?
We had a cover of his songs and one of his songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like this man's got tons of music history, and like his life is just oozing of who's who amongst music.
Yeah.
To hear his sound and how good it is, it's like, yeah, okay. I'm glad that you do have the ability to do this because it's fantastic, and I can see where all your influences are and why you're as good as you are.
Right, yeah. His compositional skill is amazing. He's basically a virtuoso on the bass, but he can also sing. He can basically do it all, and it's one of those people, he's one of those people where it's like, come on, man, like, leave some talent for the rest of us.
Honestly, and like not only that, but like stop having so many cool people that you can just be like, oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All the skills that he has, it's just crazy. I can't, we said it before, you just said it now, and we'll probably say it again. It's just like, some people just have so much talent, and it's just not fair.
Yeah. But at the same time, I appreciate it, and I'm glad he exists and puts all of his music out there into the world. So I can't complain too much.
Not only is he doing it, he's also doing it and he's using his powers for good, not evil, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You said earlier, since I forgot to say the genre, but I mean obviously the song's already out and listened to, so you know. But like you said, Thundercat's R&B soul funk. But did you know, and maybe you did, but like obviously his Mac Miller's rapping style kind of changed and grew with him as he grew and kind of changed as well. But his original what the hell? His original rap classification was frat rap or party rap, because
Oh, he was on some LMFAO shit.
yeah, because like all of his first album that came out, as well as some of the mixtapes that came out, they're all about just drinking and doing drugs and partying and having a good night and getting laid and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then as he kind of got older and aged and, started seeing some new stuff, like not even that much after, because like most of that stuff was the mixtapes, I have to say, because Blue Slide Park, like he was already getting more introspective. Because like even his early stuff, like it wasn't there's those little punchy lines because that was the thing back then, and we've talked about that before when we've listened to music and rap specifically, like that goes through stages, rapping about certain things and certain ideas and certain like styles with little quick one-liners and little jokes and stuff like that was the thing, and then everything else comes later. So like as far as I'm concerned, when you're doing those the trendy stuff, if you do just that at the time and you never develop your style, then that's your style. That's fine. That's okay, but that's your style. But you're gonna have a certain realm that you're gonna be stuck in. You might make money, you might be popular. When you want to get talking about into like that upper echelon of next level people, you want to see growth and change and development. And I think that's something that Mac Miller does, and you can see it very quickly, just even from Kids to Blue Slide Park and then moving forward and everything else that you hear later on, even the stuff that came out with Posthumous. Posthumous? Was that what it was?
Posthumous.
Posthumous. All the posthumous stuff that's come out has been like well done, and it has sounded pretty good. I haven't heard every single thing off everything, but I've heard a lot of it. One thing that I hear him a lot on, and I forget sometimes, then go back to him, is because when I'm listening to, because I've said before, like a lot of my stuff, when I had Spotify, I had all these different people that I was listening to then, and my music changed, and then I went to Apple Music, and I forgot a lot of stuff to bring over, and I go through like phases when I'm listening to different music, and I have to fix all that stuff still and keep getting more robust with it, which is a big part of what this show has been helping me with, thankfully. But like listening to all of his stuff again and going through it all again and remembering all those different songs was awesome, and hearing the growth and the change happen has been awesome. But then like forgetting that other stuff was coming out, because once you find out that he died, it's kind of like, fuck, I didn't know what was going to be happening. And my initial thoughts when you hear something's going to come out post, after he's passed, it's one of those things where you get worried about what it's going to sound like and everything else. No, obviously Circles was different because that was almost ready to come out before he died. Right. And they just delayed the release of it because obviously there was a lot of stuff going on, and that was not the first thing that mattered to anybody. But then they're like, you know what? Yeah, let's give it to the fans. And then the other stuff later that came out was like, they just officially released mixtapes and made them into actual albums. They didn't really like release anything new. They just, officially created something that existed forever.
Right.
The newest one that came out for Mac was Balloonerism, which again was another album that was completely finished in 2014, but never released because he was waiting for like the right moment and to get everything set up right. Like he commissioned people to paint the cover art and everything for it. Like he went hard. Sorry, lots of stuff I learned, and I just went on a tangent about different stuff there. But still, I think what I want to kind of accomplish with saying all that stuff was like, it's funny to say it and it's hard to say it, but like, for me, it feels like he'd be on that level of rap icon. And like the music that's still coming out now just proves how set he was and how good he was at what he was doing. And it just kind of like sucks to know that you're getting closer and closer to that being it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, all of the stuff that has come out since his death is, I mean, obviously stuff that was already completed or close to being completed. And there is that well is going to run dry, and once it does, that's it. He's not around to make anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's interesting because like this is the sort of conversation that happens when any musician passes away, and most of the time, luckily, they're much further along in their lives. You think about, say, like David Bowie or Prince, and those are some lofty comparisons. Mac was very young when he passed. If there is music or material that was composed before their deaths that was never released, it falls to the estate in many cases to be like, oh, well, are we going to release this music? And a lot of times there is no direction. Or even if there is, depending who's in control of it, whether the person made their wishes be known to be like, hey, this is what I want released if I pass away. I don't want this, or this to see the light of day, etc., etc. Is the person that is in control of that material going to respect their wishes? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Here in this case, I would believe and hope that Mac Miller's estate and Thundercat, he's probably part of it, let's be honest. With the amount that they collaborated on and how they were such good friends, I would imagine that if he's not part of it, he's extremely close to it. And
Yeah. I was going to say, if he's not a part of it, he's definitely like someone that they reference for everything. Because what I saw, the estate is just in his parents and his brother. But I mean, to say that they wouldn't talk to him about anything before it happened would be silly, right? Because I mean, anyway, as you're saying.
It's just, he, having been so close to Mac, would have great respect for his work. And I think he would have a pretty good idea of being able to say, this is something that Mac would want released to the world. As opposed to, like, hearing something and being like, I don't think this would have been part of his vision. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think that he's the sort of person that would be like, oh, I'm releasing this because I want money.
Right.
Whereas in a lot of cases, that's kind of what it feels like with a lot of other artists.
Right. Absolutely.
Something that jumps to mind is when Michael Jackson passed away. I remember some of the songs that they put out after he passed, and I was like,
Exactly.
You could tell it's incomplete,
Right.
and they got someone to just kind of finish it and throw it out there, and it could have been a respected artist. Like, I think, like, Timbaland worked on some of it, and, like, they had Justin Timberlake do vocals, and I think, like, Justin Bieber, and it was kind of like, I get what you're going for, but Michael Jackson was such a perfectionist when it came to his music, and listening to this, I don't think he would have been happy with it.
Right.
But, who's in control of it at that point, really?
I know there's a lot of issues with that one for sure. That was a big murky one for a long time.
Yeah. So, this, like, listening to this did not give me that feeling at all.
Exactly.
Listening to this, like, you and I both had the same feeling. It was just like, oh man, like, this is so cool. It's like a time capsule, almost.
Yeah.
So, while it, and I've said this word a couple times already, like, bittersweet, it's like, yeah, it's super cool. It's sad, and it makes me happy at the same time that this exists so long after Mac passed away, and that we get to hear it and be like, this is really awesome, as opposed to listening to it and being like, I wish they hadn't done this.
Right. I gotta say, the one thing about this that makes me the most, like, I mean, we said this before jokingly and having fun about it, but, like, selfishly upset is that I know that it's not in an entire album that's gonna sound like this, because it's just one time that Mac Miller was on a track because of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's not a Thundercat and Mac Miller release. It's just one song.
Yeah. But I mean, it's one more song that we wouldn't have had,
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely. I did find, so the two things that I have about Circles, I think we already talked about everything else, was that it was completely finished, or almost completely finished. John Bryan, Brion, Brian, I guess.
Sure.
It feels like trying to say Brian, but like I don't know, let's just say Brian. But it released in 2020. And then Balloonerisms was recorded in 2014, around the time of his mixtape Faces. He has a short film that goes with it as well.
And that came out last year, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Along with the Good Morning 10th anniversary. Not to mention just the Good Morning, because that this will tie it back into it, but one thing that you mentioned earlier was about how young he was when he passed away. and he was just 3 months shy of his 27th birthday, and on Good Morning he has a line which has a lot of controversy, where he said to everyone who sell me drugs, don't mix it with that bullshit. I'm hoping not to join the 27 club.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask if you had, because I didn't know how old he was when he passed away, and I was wondering if he was 27.
Yeah. Well, 26 and 9 months.
Yeah, almost.
So close enough as far as I'm concerned, especially with a lyric like that exists. Come on.
Yeah.
It just, it adds into the conspiracy way too well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, oh, conspiracy theories, man. Some of them are wild, and then sometimes you're like, yeah, but maybe. And then you're like, no, that way lies darkness.
No, you're absolutely right. And I mean, yeah, unfortunately, there's sometimes there's that truth in those conspiracy theories. Like, what do they say? Every performative action is secretly an admission of something, an admission of guilt, right?
Yeah. And given the state of how much the world is on fire, quite literally, sometimes, listen, we don't get political. We try not to. We do our best. Listen, just some conspiracy theories might not be conspiracy theories anymore. Some probably still are. How can you tell? I don't know. It's terrifying, so I just listen to music and play video games.
Yep, exactly those things. But yeah, I think that will about do it for me. Did you have anything else?
I'm just glad this exists. I
Same.
really am. And I'm glad that I waited to listen to it, too. I think it's just one of those things where it's almost part of me didn't want to listen to it because of how we discussed earlier that the amount of material that we're going to get is just going to get smaller and smaller. So giving yourself or myself or ourselves that anticipation of just kind of like, how many more Mac Miller tracks are we going to get? We want to make every one of them feel special. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely right. I couldn't have said it better myself. The what is it? The art is finite. There's only so much left, if anything, at this point. I'm sure there's some more unreleased mixtapes that exist, but then it goes into the line like we talked about before, where you're towing like, does this deserve to be anything beyond this, or do we look like we're just cash grabbing at something that already existed? Like, them
Right.
putting out watching movies with the sound off and I Love Life, Thank You is completely different to me because they weren't available on most streaming services before because of
Yeah.
the fact that they were mixtapes. They had to get, and that's because of like all the different stuff that's on there. Like, they had to get the OKs and the sign offs on all the different stuff because mixtapes typically are just productions of somebody else's undertrack. Now,
Yes.
when artists give you that, or if they did or didn't for that matter, and you're sampling it, if you don't get the approval on it, then you have to worry about royalties and blah 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 blah. We're not
Legal
here for that today.
repercussions. Yeah. All
But
that.
yeah, so the fact that they got those together just to put out was kind of like a okay, cool, because like that made Red Dot Music with Action Bronson available anytime you want to, not just on, SoundCloud or finding it on
You,
YouTube.
YouTube. Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I said that or not, but I think I was getting to that and I got distracted. But what brought him back around was I was listening to Action Bronson, and Action Bronson and Mac Miller have a song together, and then that was there, and then Tyler the Creator was getting looped into it too, and I'm like, oh my god, Apple's figuring me out. This is amazing. So like, it's building the playlists back, and I'm very excited because it brought back Mac Miller for me, and I went on a deep dive, which is where I was at, and I was like, man, I really want to bring a Mac Miller song, but I don't know what Mac Miller song I'd want to bring. This is tough. I was gonna say like Blue World is definitely way way up there, but that's also a posthumous song, so like it's like, even though it was done and recorded and ready to go, still feels like weird picking that song. It feels like the gatekeepers will get mad at me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it always kind of comes back to the songs on the Tiny Desk.
True.
I honestly, 2009, that song is always just like, man, and especially that performance in particular. But even the album version is just, it's so good.
Yeah, I think if we ever do another Mac Miller, we should redo that podcast and watch it because
Yeah, yeah.
if for some reason you haven't seen it yet and you haven't seen it when we eventually do it, that's a performance, man.
It really is. Highly recommend. I think I might have mentioned this on a past episode. I'm pretty sure I did. But I watched a short from NPR that they mentioned what their top 5 Tiny Desks were, like most viewed. And I'm pretty sure that was on there. Pretty sure Mac Miller was on there. And I think, I'm trying to remember. It was so long ago. I think Anderson .Paak was on there too. Anderson .Paak and the Free Nationals.
I was gonna say, I was actually about to say Anderson .Paak, but then I had to quickly search and make sure because I almost said Anderson Cooper. I'm like, nope, not that guy.
Not guy. Nope, different guy. Very different.
I got the names mixed up for a second, even though like I have listened to Anderson .Paak. Don't get me wrong here. It's just the first Anderson name that came to mind was not the right one.
Yeah.
Don't hate me.
And like, I don't know. That's pretty impressive to me because they've got some like heavy hitters on Tiny Desk. Like Adele has been on there.
Right.
You know, like big popular artists. And I don't know. I think it also kind of shows like the passion that people have for the artists that they really enjoy. Like,
yeah,
if you go to someone, you know, not that you why would you ever talk to strangers? But if you go up to someone on the street and you're like, hey, like, do you know who Mac Miller is? Especially nowadays, like,
right?
You'd probably be like, I don't know. Anderson .Paak, I don't know who that is. Adele, hell yeah, of course I know who Adele is.
Right.
But something about passion and the artists you enjoy and blah blah blah. I don't know. It's a whole thing that I could get into that I don't want to at the end of a podcast.
Fair. I agree with all the sentiments from today. And want to cap it off with saying to go check out both Mac Miller and Thundercat. Mac Miller's got a lot more where, you know, if you liked what you heard today, you're going to hear a lot of that kind of that style and that kind of like fun little playfulness in there too. Plus, he definitely talks way more about his addictions and his demons and other things as well, not just women. So he's definitely got a lot to listen to. And then from what I know from Thundercat, like what you heard in the masterful bass playing is exactly what you'll expect in anything that he's a part of, because dude's amazing. Dude's great at it. He knows his craft, and he's been playing it for probably since birth, honestly. That being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to me telling you about our social medias right now. Thanks for that killer introduction. Couldn't have done it better myself. Alright, Scoobs, time to get real. Cue the Sarah McLachlan. Just kidding. We do, first of all, want to say thank you for checking us out, and hopefully if you made it this far, you like what we're doing, and you want to help. And if so, here are some key ways. Most importantly, share our podcast with a friend or an enemy. We don't judge. We just encourage that organic sharing and growth, because that's how Scoobs and I learn about songs together when we do our episodes. Next, you can share our social media posts from Facebook as The Feedback, THE space FEEDBACK, or on Instagram, THEFEEDBACK_PC. You can comment, share, like, whatever you want to do. You know, just make it constructive at least. You can leave us a review on Facebook or wherever else you might be able to. I know some streaming services allow it. 5 stars would be great, and if not, tell us why. Next, you can check out our episode-inspired playlists. We send one out every week. We're doing it for you guys and ourselves, but mostly you guys. Keep listening to us weekly. That'd be awesome too. Or check out our old stuff. We got some catalog at this point. And the most important thing of all, just keep being awesome. Alright. Well, I think that was quite a bit, but I think it was all inclusive, and I hope you do it. So I want to say thanks, and love ya.
And now that you have hopefully gone and done all the social media things, like, comment, subscribe, share, do it on all the social media channels, YouTube included, where you can find our playlist and etc. We've got some other ideas working. Who knows when they'll come to fruition. Maybe by the time this episode comes out, we'll have started them. But that's a topic. That's a topic for another time. I don't have a teaser for next week. I don't know what I'm picking yet. So that that new tradition has already fallen by the wayside.
Hey, it happens sometimes, man. We were on a roll. I'm proud of us for going for as long as we did there.
I was like on a month-long string for me where I knew what I was doing next, and now I'm just kind of like, we'll see what happens. I got a couple ideas. We'll see. I would also, of course, like to give a shout-out to Exile, who does the intro and outro music for our podcast. The track is called Egg. You should go check it out and check out all of Exile's music, actually. Give them a follow, give them a like, give them a subscribe. You have something else you wanted to say? I feel like I cut you off.
I don't think so. I was probably just going to ad-lib something in there when you were talking before, and right now I already forget it, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, our ADHD it's strong now. It's
I like
time.
I was going to say, I like your phrasing of my brain is pudding.
Yeah, I use that one a lot.
That's a great one, though. I like that.
Yeah. Sometimes I refer to it as electric bacon, 'cause that's usually when when my brain synapses are firing well, which now they are not. So I think that about does it.
I would agree.
All right. Well, that's it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening, and make sure to join us next week for whatever we dig up next. Goodbye.
I know I asked you that question. I'm trying to roll through. I'm scrolling through to see because it says 2010 Craft Recordings distributed by Concord for a lot of their stuff. Second Sucks has Joey Fatone in it.
Hey, look at that.
Or no, not Joey Fatone, the other guy, the Chris, the one with the long braids, but he's all clean cut now.
Oh, Chris Kirkpatrick. Chip Skylark.
Chip Skylark. Yeah. Maybe it's not him? It's not in the song or video, by a day to remember. The confusion likely stems from a viral TikTok post, but I'm looking at this video, and that's very much him. Why did Eminem hate Chris Kirkpatrick so much?
I don't know. I think he just hated NSYNC and he singled out Chris.
Gotcha. Because whenever I see his name, it just reminds me of that line, like, Chris Kirkpatrick, you can get your
Yeah.
You can get your I don't even remember what it was. Oh, you can get your ass kicked. That's why.
You can get your ass kicked, or you can get your dick sucked, whatever.
Oh, yeah, right? Very different.
Yeah.
Good thing that's not going to be on an episode anytime soon. So apparently in 2001 on TRL, Kirkpatrick jokingly referred to Eminem as a crocodile hunter for thriving on controversy.
Wow, so offensive.
Yeah.